DocTalk is brought to you by Merck Animal Health, the science of healthier animals.
Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson. I'm glad you joined us today on DocTalk. Our guest is going to be Dr. Doug Ford from Brush, Colorado. We're going to talk about his veterinary practice, and we're going to talk about how he has changed his viewpoint at looking at different cases versus just that bug-drug interaction. Stay tuned.
As dependable as the sunrise, in dairy parlors, open pastures, on ranches and feed yards across America. A place where reputation is more than a name, where the science of healthier animals is a way of life. It's the responsibility that drives who we are and what we do. Every decision, every day. It's your livelihood and our responsibility.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Profusion Drench for beef cattle, a no prescription, no needle supplement. To learn more, go to zenpro.com.
Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson, and I am pleased. Matter of fact, I'm pumped to have my friend, colleague, Dr. Doug Ford. He's been somebody that has helped me a lot in my life, and taking the time, right? You know, he's so busy, and you're going to hear about how busy he is, but then he'll take the time to call me from Brush, Colorado, where he's a veterinarian, a practitioner, and spend a little time with me on the phone and say, toughen up, let's get going. So anyway, appreciate you taking time to be here.
Well, thanks, it's a pleasure to be here, Dan. I bill myself as a solo practitioner in a 4-man practice. Now it's a 5-man practice. We stay pretty busy. This is really all I've ever wanted to do. I grew up around a veterinary clinic and wanted to be a veterinarian since I was a little boy, and living the dream.
So talk a little bit about that solo 4-5-man practice that you run.
Well, we started out, we moved right to Brush. I wanted a place where they had good water, and I didn't want to move again, and wanted there to be a few pheasants. So we started out working for a gentleman there, and I was in that practice for 3 or 4 years, and then I went out on my own. So Brush, we thought we were going to go out and be in the middle of nowhere, and as it turns out, Brush is pretty centrally located for a lot of different things.
Yep.
And I worked at 2 sale barns there. We did a lot of cow-calf, exotics, dogs and cats, that sort of thing. The first probably 20 years of my 42 years in practice. And the last half of that practice, kind of like Wade and Tom and the guys, these big feedlots started moving into some of these areas, and just by necessity, we had to become a feedlot practitioner or whatever. Well, in our area, a lot of dairies moved in. And I had worked at one of the auctions. It was a dairy auction, so I had a lot of contacts. And we do 5 large dairies. They're milking, 5,000-6,000 cows. So I'm at a dairy every morning from about 5 to 11, do my routine work. And then we do cow-calf and do quite a few feed yards. I do about 15 feed yards. And then in our spare time, we spay about 7,500 to 10,000 heifers.
Oh my.
And
so if you need your heifer spayed,
yeah, right.
this is the guy.
Right. We also, my wife and I also have a place down in Snyder, Colorado on the South Platte River. And we've been doing a wetlands development project. We run a couple hundred head of cows, and just having the time of our life. Life's good.
So, you talked a little bit about you've changed in how you approach things in veterinary medicine.
Sure.
How? Give me just kind of a, just an overview of what you mean by that.
Well, I had an opportunity several years ago veterinarians are kind of an odd group. When they move into a town, they don't collaborate, they don't communicate, they kind of compete against one another. And it's been 15 years ago, Dr. Tom Nofsinger approached me and said, would you come to a meeting in the basement of the bank at Oakley, Kansas? And I said, sure. And what came from those meetings in Oakley was production animal consultation. So I had the pleasure of being one of the original founding members, and that one thing has just absolutely changed my life. You've changed my life. You're part of that. I mean, you're just you're such a constant in my life. So as part of that, just a silly deal one day. Well, what I learned from that is that in Proverbs it says, "So as iron sharpens iron, men sharpen men," and I think the guys say 1 + 1 = 11. So from that, I've learned about the power of collaboration, and I've spent quite a bit of time with Dr. Nofsinger. And one of the things that he did, and it's a silly thing that really changed my life, was he showed me a picture of the FedEx logo one day, and he said, "What do you see?" And I saw FedEx, and I saw the colors, and as a veterinarian, I did what I do in practice every day. I analyzed the deal, and he said, "Dougie," he calls me Dougie, he said, "there's an arrow in the logo." And I said, "The heck you say?" And I looked, and I looked, and I looked, and sure enough, there was an arrow there. And he said, "Now close your eyes for 5 seconds and open your eyes." And when I did, that's all I saw was the arrow. So I've spent the last 15 years looking for arrows every day. And the thing that I've learned is it's okay if you don't see the arrow. But when you see the arrow and you know it's there, you can't deny it's there. And through that example, that trust, I trusted Tom that there was an arrow there, and there was an arrow there.
Folks, we're going to take a break. When we come back, more with Dr. Doug Ford, and looking for that arrow, looking for the next thing, and improving your eyesight to things that could be right in front of you that you never knew.
Innovative low-stress cattle handling equipment is key to efficiency and safety. At Daniels Manufacturing Company, we design systems using the best materials. We work with top producers from all over the world who use Daniels products on their operations. We concentrate on quality, prioritizing the safety of the animals and their handlers. Each product is carefully crafted and inspected to ensure your system will last for many years. Whether your operation is small or large, Daniels Manufacturing Company can design a facility to meet your needs. Visit us online or call to see how we can improve your cattle handling facility.
If you missed Caregiver Camp this year, don't worry. We'll have more camps in 2022 at Nofsinger Ranch in Benkelman, Nebraska. The camp is an opportunity for new and veteran employees to receive one-on-one instruction in a relaxed environment from Dr. Tom Nofsinger, Dr. Kip Lucasavage, and Ted Howard on cattle handling, horsemanship, animal health, disease detection, and team interaction. At Caregiver Camp, people learn how to grow, how to trust, and open lines of contact between animals and humans. These principles will allow you to build relationships with your own livestock and team. For more information and future dates, visit our events page at pacdvms.com.
Producers know stress costs money. It puts their cattle at greater risk of illness and can be a substantial drain on animal performance. That's why ZenPro developed ProFusion Drench for beef cattle. Formulated with ZenPro's patented trace mineral technology, ProFusion Drench is a no-script, no-needle performance supplement, proven to rapidly replenish essential nutrients lost during times of stress. For optimal results, use ProFusion Drench with ZenPro Performance Minerals in feed as part of a complete nutrition program. To learn more, go to zenpro.com. ValleyVet.com is your one-stop shop for your every animal need. From prescription meds, vaccines, equipment, and more for the ranch to the show ring. Shop ValleyVet.com for fast shipping and great prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Hey folks, welcome back to Doc Talk. Dr. Dan Thompson here with my friend and colleague, Dr. Doug Ford. He is a veterinarian in Brush, Colorado, and busy man, very busy man with a huge practice. Spaying cattle all over the country, dairies from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. and then in his spare time some cow-calf and feedlot work, and beautiful ranch and place that you have there in Colorado, and just
Life's good.
Life's good. But we're talking about how you found that arrow, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Now,
so
how did that change your viewpoint of veterinary practice?
Well, once I realized that there was a different way of looking at things in veterinary school, everything's a disease. Everything's this or that. And as part of those meetings that we used to have, Dan Upson from K-State, fine gentleman. I see that smile on your face. We got to be good friends, and he would always talk about husbandry, and we've forgotten about husbandry. You know, it's all about husbandry. And what that got me to thinking about was, you know, what's driving all these things? We want to throw mass treatment at something. We want to, what antibiotic is, you know, this and that. So I've thought a lot about the difference between knowledge and wisdom. And knowledge is all these things that we got from veterinary school, but what's wisdom? And what wisdom is knowing the difference. Okay, knowing the difference. So now what I've started to do, I've been practicing for 42 years, is look at the difference. Okay, so you probably want to know an example.
Sure.
So I'm at the dairy one morning, minding my own business, and here comes trouble. Doug, we got a problem. We got an outbreak of mastitis. You picked the wrong antibiotic, and this is going on, and that's going on, and you're just on and on about, you know. So I start feeling kind of funny about things, and as I looked around, I saw them taking, they use these microfiber towels, and they launder these towels, and when they bring the towels in, they're wet. One of the dirtiest things in your house is a load of wet laundry.
Right.
So I've tried to talk them into either using paper. They don't want to use paper, disposable for the transmission of disease. So these towels are wet, and they're sitting in this tub. And so I just as an afterthought took one of those towels, cut a little piece off of it, and we sent it to the lab to have a bacterial count done on it. And I got that back, and they had to do a 4 or 5 log dilution of that towel to even get on the target. So these towels are loaded with every microorganism you can imagine. Okay, so I told the owner, and he's like, well, I talked to some of my friends, and they said that those, you know, they incubated in the deal. I'm like, yeah, no kidding, you know. But when I took that sample out, we took it right to the lab. So we got an accurate deal of, within 2 hours it was at the lab.
Wow.
Okay, so then that started the conversation. We looked a little bit more into what was going on. We went back to the washing machine. I say wash, not wash. And went to the washing machine, and what we found was one of the machines, the valve for the hot water was off, and the other one, the soap dispenser, was broke. So...
yeah, I'm glad you picked the wrong antibiotic.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. This is a great story, great example of husbandry, management, and all the things that are around us that we can be looking for on our farms, our ranch, with our veterinarian. You're watching Doc Talk. We'll be right back.
Time is money on the farm, and your cows are less productive when they're stressed. The Alertus on-farm test from IDEXX allows you to quickly test cowside and identify open or pregnant cows within minutes on your schedule in the parlor, barn, or chute. It's more efficient for your farm, very simple to use, and puts you in control. With minimal training and reliable, fast results, sample-based pregnancy testing is better for beef and dairy producers. Learn more at idexx.com/DocTalk.
If you missed Caregiver Camp this year, don't worry. We'll have more camps in 2022 at Knopfsinger Ranch in Benkelman, Nebraska. The camp is an opportunity for new and veteran employees to receive one-on-one instruction in a relaxed environment from Dr. Tom Knopfsinger, Dr. Kip Lucasavage, and Ted Howard on cattle handling, horsemanship, animal health, disease detection, and team interaction. At Caregiver Camp, people learn how to grow, how to trust, and open lines of contact between animals and humans. These principles will allow you to build relationships with your own livestock and team. For more information and future dates, visit our events page at packdvms.com.
ValleyVet.com is your one-stop shop for your every animal need, from prescription meds, vaccines, equipment, and more for the ranch to the show ring. Shop ValleyVet.com for fast shipping and great prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thompson here with Dr. Doug Ford. And Dr. Doug is a mentor and a friend, a wonderful veterinarian out there in Brush, Colorado. And, you know, you still had a little more to talk about on that washing machine.
Yeah, well, as I thought about that, I took that to another level. It's not just the hot water and the soap. Hot water is a great disinfectant. It's probably better than disinfectants in a lot of things. The water at the dairy is pretty hot. You want to be careful.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So as I watched the guys, if it's kind of like the tub. If the tub in the back of the chute only holds 10 head, how many of the guys put in? 30. And so they're taking these towels, and the machine's meant to handle a 15 or 20 pound load, and they put 40 pounds in there. Okay.
Well, you only want to have to do it once.
Yeah. Well, and so what did? We just smeared that stuff around in there, you know. And then to add to that, I see the repairman there once a week. These machines are big industrial machines. They cost thousands of dollars. I mean, thousands of dollars. And this machine's like, it's about to come off the deal. And it's like, guys, we can kill two birds with one stone here. Let's put the right amount in there. Let's put the right amount in the tub and create voluntary motion.
Exactly.
Right. There's so many examples like that.
Well, as you go, you're talking about husbandry and hygiene. And if you think about
Don't forget common sense.
We'll try.
Okay.
Now, but yeah, talk about some of those other things we probably walk by every day.
Well, and Dr. Tom, I'm a big Dr. Tom fan.
Me too.
And, you know, he says that we want to create leaders, learners, and lovers of people, not laborers. And so that's how I've tried to approach things, you know, in the second half of my career. So I come in, another example, I come in the office, and we hire a lot of Hispanic veterinarians, and they don't have probably the training that we have, but they understand about husbandry, bacteria transmission, and that sort of thing. So
and you mean this from foreign veterinary schools?
Mostly from Mexico.
Yep.
And so I come in, and the kids they're washing the syringe, and there was a bunch of tags in the sink. They reused their tags. They're Dutch. So there's dirty water in the sink, and this young man comes in, and he takes the syringe, and he starts cleaning the syringe. Well, he understood you were supposed to wash the syringe, but I said, why don't you just raise it up here and do this, you know? So I think the thing that I've learned is just it's a constant observation, constant training, and we just 90% of these things that we see are little deals like that. Why are we having abscesses, lumps? Why is, you know, and then you'll see one on the back of the leg. It's like, well, I ask a student, what caused that? Well, an injection. It can't be an injection. We don't give anything in the back leg, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, like animal abuse, I'll ask the students, do you see any signs of animal abuse? No, everything looks good, and I agree. But then you see some dairies, 1 out of every 10 tails might have a little break in it.
Yep.
You know, and then you look at that tail, and you go, that's a symptom. That's cause and effect. That's a symptom of something deeper. So is it broke high on the tail, low on the tail? Does it turn to the right? Does it turn to the left? And when you start looking at those things, you can say, is it in the heifers? Is it in the cows? Is it gone away? Well, it's more in the heifers. It's probably one of the breeders. And he's out there by himself. He's supposed to push these animals in by himself. How many animals don't get bred that day because they're in heat and he just can't catch them?
Yep. I think that what you're driving forward is we need to do the ordinary things extraordinarily well.
Absolutely.
And day after day, and that's what we do. Let's take a break. When we come back, more with Dr. Doug Ford here on DocTalk. Thanks for joining us.
Some call it a come from behind victory, an unlikely win, a reversal of fortune, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. This is our moment, our victory dance, because we choose confidence. We choose Zuprevo for BRD treatment. Ask your veterinarian to prescribe Zuprevo. Zuprevo is a fast-acting, long-lasting BRD treatment that you can count on to get the job done. Choose confidence. Choose Zuprevo from Merck Animal Health.
Time is money on the farm, and your cows are less productive when they're stressed. The Alertus on-farm test from IDEX allows you to quickly test cowside and identify open or pregnant cows within minutes on your schedule in the parlor, barn, or chute. It's more efficient for your farm, very simple to use, and puts you in control. With minimal training and reliable, fast results, sample-based pregnancy testing is better for beef and dairy producers. Learn more at idex.com/DocTalk.
ValleyVet.com is your one-stop shop for your every animal need, from prescription meds, vaccines, equipment, and more for the ranch to the show ring. Shop ValleyVet.com for fast shipping and great prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thompson here with Dr. Doug Ford. And we're out here in western Nebraska. We're in Dr. Tom's office.
Absolutely, world headquarters.
Yeah, world headquarters. We're both members and owners of Production Animal Consultation. And, you know, Dr. Doug, when you go into, you spay a lot of heifers, you're on a lot of different ranches, you're in feed yards. When you walk on the place, just with the power of observation, what are things that kind of catch your eye as to, hey, they got the right things going on, or hey, we got some issues?
Yeah, you touched on it earlier. It's consistency. It's those people training them and having them do the same thing over and over in an extraordinary way. A couple of examples: we might have an outbreak or a higher incidence of lameness, joint ill. And so, guys, we got to be dipping the navels. We're dipping the navels. Oh yeah, we dip them. And you go back to the calf barn, and there's iodine on the back leg and between the legs and around the navel, but it's not on the navel.
Right.
And so it's just continual training. Jim Lowe told us one day that people do what you inspect, not what you expect. And you just need to continue to inspect things.
Even on your own.
Even on your own.
I mean, you follow up on your crews, follow up on your sons, daughters, your dad. Make sure we're doing it right.
Accountability.
Yeah.
And yeah. And so another example, we were training some of the guys on pulling calves, and they were having some uterine infections. And so I said, do you intervene on quite a few of these? Just, oh no, we don't hardly ever have a problem, And when they left, I walked over and looked in the trash can, and there was a trash can full of bloody sleeves running over. Well, somebody's not telling the truth. Right. So one of the things that, if I want to know what's going on at a place, we interviewed at a feed yard one time, an all-natural feed yard, and I looked in the trash can, and there was a trash can full of Mycotil bottles. So something's not adding up here, Yeah. So one of the things that I do with students when I go is, I said, look in the trash. You want to know what's going on around here? Look in the trash. Walk in the drug room. Look in the drawer. See, be a little nosy. See what's in that bottom drawer.
Yep.
And
then from that, then it's all about building a relationship with the people in there.
And at the end of the day, that's my favorite thing, And we go all over the country spaying these heifers, and people go, "Why do you do that? It's just such brutal work." And it's not about that. It's about the relationships and the people that I know. We used to travel with our kids, and we'd be in California, and we'd see somebody we knew. They go, "Do you know everybody in the world, Dad?" And it's been fun to us. And they're not just a stranger becomes an acquaintance, acquaintance becomes a friend, and a friend becomes a brother.
That's right.
You know, and so it's just good, and it's an opportunity to train all the time when we're standing there working, and just drive the attitudes of everybody and just have fun.
How many heifers can you spay in a day?
Oh, how many could I used to spay?
Yeah.
I don't like to do over about 300 in a day now. We used to do 400 or 500.
It's amazing. Well, thanks for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me, Dan. You're one of my favorite people in the whole world, and it's just an honor to be here with you, bud.
Well, it's an honor to get you here.
I appreciate you, and I love you.
Love you, man. So, if you want to find out what we're doing on DocTalk, you can find us on the web at www.doctalktv.com. Always work with your local practitioner. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson here with Dr. Doug Ford, and we'll see you down the road.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Profusion Drench for beef cattle, a no prescription, no needle supplement. To learn more, go to zenpro.com. DocTalk was brought to you by Merck Animal Health, the science of healthier animals.